Hey everyone. Here's another video from BobbyandBrian.com, and this is on the heels of Series 2, Episode 3 on territory planning. So today I'm going to walk you through our prospect pipeline and execution workbook, and the aim here is to help save you time as you build out your territory plan. And the main goal of this is to give you a template that's a living, breathing document to help you manage your sales business. So you can access this template on BobbyandBrian.com/tools or use the link in the description for the video here. And again, this is called the Prospect Pipeline and Execution Plan Workbook. So download it there. It's an Excel document. You can put it into Google Sheets, or if you'd like to see it in another format, just let us know. And really, this is not a replacement of CRM, Salesforce, or any sort of CRM tool that you're using like Dynamics or whatever else. This is really just meant to be something that you can use as, again, a living, breathing document of a way to kind of manage the accounts you're in, what you're trying to, the deals that you're trying to progress, the pipeline that you're building, and then kind of your execution plan by quarter. So if you sit down with your manager, you sit down with your inside sales team, this first tab, this prospect plan, is a way for you to collaborate with people or just know how you're progressing. And the aim here is to move accounts from left to right. So you can see that they're categorized in a number of different formats. Again, some of these may not align to the way you manage Salesforce or your own CRM product. But the goal is, on the left, is to really first take a stab and categorize all the prospects or accounts that you've got. So put them in the proper categories. Once you've got that done, the goal is to move them from left to right. So if you look left, we've got our passive list. And I think of the passive list as accounts that are not a priority. These are accounts that may be on your marketing list. They may be in an unfavorable industry. They're just, for whatever reason, not a priority for you. The disqualified accounts, these are accounts that maybe they've just bought and they're not going to be a target for you for another year to 18 months. Maybe you've recently lost a deal here. Maybe they're having financial problems. Or maybe they're an industry fit that you just flat cannot work into. So start by kind of putting these in the right, the prospects in the right category. And then again, the aim here is to move them all to the right. So the next group we have is narrow targets. These are companies that are a great fit. So maybe you're working actively with partners or your inside sales team to establish meetings with them. So if you do get a meeting with them, let's say this Alpine Aid prospect here, move them into the next category, which is conversations. And these are accounts that maybe you've established email contact with, phone contact with, accounts that you've made some level of progress with. Then you can move accounts that you've kind of taken from a conversation and maybe you found a deal there. So maybe let's say Hog Co. There's actually an opportunity here. So you can move that to the right for an early stage deal. And you can see what I mean here. You're progressing things from left to right to make progress in your territory. So early stage, again, is very obvious. There's a deal or something happening in the account. I put risk here for early stage risk as its own separate one because we all have those deals that, you guessed it, have some level of risk to them. Maybe it's a timeline risk. It's a next fiscal year type deal. Maybe you're not at the right level from a sponsor standpoint. So maybe there's a really tough competitor in here. But you want to call out the fact that it's a deal. There's something interesting here, but you want to call out there's a level of risk to this opportunity. The discovery phase could mean a number of things to a number of different people and companies. But for me, this means that there's actually progress on both sides, and both sides are making an investment in the sales process. So we've got Fairy Shine here, and we've got another Hogco company here that we're in discovery stage with today. Negotiating are companies, this is pretty obvious, that are deals that we're generally counting on. So these are deals at the stage that are much later in the sales cycle. Maybe you're in commercial discussions here. Maybe you're working down the path of a sale. And then finally, all the way to the right, we have our wins. So again, these are customers that have just signed up with us and that we're doing business with. So you can see here that this is a living, breathing thing. And I use this as an account manager all the time. I've used it for years and years. I've shared this with people and they've customized it and kind of made it their own. And again, it's not to replace Salesforce or whatever CRM tool that you're using. The goal is here is just to give you something that you can have open on your desktop all the time. It's a living, breathing document. And if you ever need to send it out to someone, it's ready to go and it's as up to date as possible. So that is the prospect plan. The second tab, if you click along the bottom here, is the pipeline plan. So this lays out all the deals in a list format, and it's vertical rather than the horizontal measurements that we had in the first tab. Some people have kind of combined this in the prospect plan to create one spreadsheet. If you'd like to see it in that way, just let me know. But the point of this is to assign weight to your deals. For those of you, many of you will be familiar with the concept of weight, but basically it's what percent are you going to count on this deal. So for example, we've got deals in negotiating, and they're at a much higher weight than deals that are, let's say, early stage risk. So you're counting on some of this revenue coming in for sunlighting and this infrastructure refresh here. There's a much higher probability of this deal coming in than, let's say, high industries here. And then it assigns value to the right. So you put the value of this deal, and then the weight of it multiplies the value of the deal times the weight here. So you're going to have to measure this and adjust it your own weight, make a real assessment of your deals. But the percentages here are generally acceptable for on a conservative scale for mid and large size opportunities that you're working here. So again, living, breathing document. You can change all these percentages if they're different for you. But again, the goal is to make this something that you can keep up to date, something kind of outside of your traditional CRM tool that you can have always open, available to share. And we left a few rows here for you to insert your own deals and to kind of, again, make this your own document. So finally, we have the execution plan. And the aim for the execution plan is, these are just some examples that we've got in Q1, but you can list out by quarter goals, events, ongoing activities that you've got, and you can list the status of all of these to the right. So if you make progress against some of these goals, you can flip it from executing to executed or completed, or maybe there's another status that you want to assign here. But you can, again, you can add Q2, Q3 to this, adjust and update your events, and know, like, where do I stand for the executive breakfast, let's say on March 6th? Well, we're full on that event. How about the May 11th industry event that we have? Well, there's only 3 spots left. So the end here is, like, when you're in your on time and your strategic time, what things are you working on in your execution plan to match up with your goals? And again, this is to keep everything to be a living and breathing document. And let's say that you do a territory updates at the end of the quarter. All you have to do here is take a quick snip of this document and paste it into your PowerPoint presentation for your territory plan, and you're ready to go. So thanks everyone for joining. If you have any questions at all or want to see this in a different format, send us an email, info@bobbyandbrian.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe now if you got a few minutes, or a couple seconds actually. Check out our website, bobbyandbrian.com. To get to this, again, is bobbyandbrian.com/tools. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. That's @BobbyBrianSells. And check out our podcasts. Hopefully you got to this by our territory planning series. This was from episode number 3. So check that out on iTunes or your favorite listening app. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.